Hello, my darlings. Welcome to day 5. I hope you've had a wonderful time with the last 4 days. Just a gentle introduction. I think it's gentle. I don't really know. I hope you've had a nice time for the last 4 days and that you're getting something out of your personal practice. The best thing is it's just a 20, I think, to half an hour practice each day, and it's something that you can continue to come back to. The best thing about YouTube is always going to be there, and if you find something that a practice that you really love, save it in your list. I think that's what you do with YouTube. Still such a rookie, I have no idea, but we're learning, we learn every day. So I'm so excited that you're here with me practicing today, whatever time of the day it is for you. I'm going to do a little ab session today. Of course, ab work, it's only about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll see how we go. And yeah, you take your time, my darlings, and remember that this is your class. So if you need to stop at any moment and find a comfortable position, Shavasana, for example, to have a little rest, catch a breath, you're welcome. I am not going to push you hard. This is just, for me, this is just a wonderful little set to help you bring some focus into your core and help with your core strength, which takes you out and into the rest of your day. So we're going to begin on our backs today. So before we get there, come over onto your seat with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. I'm going to bring your hands behind your thighs. We're going to roll down using going one vertebrae at a time. Your feet making sure that your feet are staying nice and stable on the ground. When you're ready, down on the ground, making any adjustments that you need to. And bringing your shoulders underneath your chest. You're going to walk your feet back up towards your bottom. You don't want to be able to touch your heels with your hands, but your knees are in line with your ankles. Now you can bring your hands out, palms facing down to help support you. You can have them by your side or out a little bit further so you can stay nice and supported. Now before we begin, I'm drawing your belly button in towards your back body. You still want to be able to breathe. So let's take 3 of the deepest breaths that you've taken all day. Gently tucking your chin. Important to keep your spine nice and long. Beautiful. So we're going to inhale. We're going to lift up our left leg. So our left leg is at about 90 degrees to the ground. You want to be pushing in through your heels so your feet are nice and flat. Going to inhale and exhale, lengthen out that left leg, pushing out through your heel. I'm going to inhale to bring it back up and exhale to drop down. Now we're not touching the ground. Inhale to drop. Inhale to bring it back up and exhale, lengthening out that leg. Inhale to bring it back in And gently replacing that foot on the ground. And inhale, bringing our right leg up. Legs are at 90 degrees, flattening out through that foot. Inhale and exhale, lengthen out that right leg, push out through the heel. Inhale to bring it back up, exhale to drop. Inhale back up and exhale to drop. Inhale up, finding your rhythm. The most important thing is that we're not rushing. It's not about the numbers. It's about the control of the movement. And finding that nice rhythm with your breath. And gently releasing that leg. Beautiful. And taking a moment to reset. So tongue tucking that tailbone, checking on your shoulders, drawing that belly button back down towards your spine. And inhale to lift both legs up off the ground at 90 degrees. Feet are flat. Beautiful. Going to inhale and exhale. We're going to drop our left heel towards the ground. So we're touching the ground lightly and inhale back up. Exhale to drop the right. Inhale back up. And swapping sides. Following your breath. We'll do one more either side. And gently releasing both legs down onto the ground. Beautiful. Lengthening out through both legs. You might like to point out through your toes, maybe one at a time. Might like to stretch your hands over your head for a full body stretch. And then bringing yourself back. Bringing your feet up. So bending your legs and feet flat on the ground. So feet are about hip width apart. Your hands are palms facing down. Bringing your shoulders underneath your chest. And again, you don't want to be able to touch your heels with your hands. Gently tucking your chin and finding that foundation with your belly and your spine. So drawing that belly button down towards your spine. Now bring your awareness to your feet, all four corners of your feet. Push into your feet and feel your glutes engage. And then gently release. So we're coming up into a bridge pose. But before we do, I want you to imagine that you've got some books or a block between your knees. So you don't want your knees to go outwards or come in. You want to keep them in line with your hips when we come up. So pushing into your feet. I'm going to inhale to raise our bottoms off the ground, pushing your pelvis towards the ceiling. God. The ceiling. Squeeze your glutes together. And keep your chin gently tucked. And take 3 long cycles of breath. In through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. And on your next inhale, releasing down to the ground, 1 vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Now bring your knees up and into your chest. Just squeeze your knees. If you want a little bit more, you can bring your forehead towards your knees. And then when you're ready, we're going to reset. We're going to do that 2 more times. So bringing your shoulders underneath your chest, untucking your tailbone, chin gently tucked, hands are nice and flat on the floor. And then when you're ready, pushing into all 4 corners of your feet. Remember your block between your knees. You're going to inhale to raise your hips towards the ceiling, squeeze those glutes together. Now, being mindful about your glutes. Can you feel one squeezing a little bit tighter than the other? Can you bring them together? And take 3 cycles of breath. In through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. You, my darling, are strong. You can do this. And on your next inhale, gently releasing down 1 vertebrae at a time. Amazing. Bring your chin, your knees into your chest. Oh, that feels good. Now you might also like to rock from side to side. Feel that nice little massage on your lower back and the glutes. Good, feels good on the glutes. And then we'll come back to reset. So finding your strong foundation, remembering all of your little cues. And when we're ready, let's go. Feet on the ground, really pushing into the ground, inhaling to lift. Squeeze those glutes together. And coming up onto your shoulders. And take 3 of the deepest breaths that you've taken all day. You can do this. I am with you. And then when you're ready, we're releasing down to the ground, 1 vertebrae at a time. And then when you're ready, bringing your knees into your chest. Maybe rocking from side to side. Beautiful. We'll release our legs away. And readjusting. Now, from here, we're going to finish off with a little supine twist. So bring your hands out in line with your shoulders and palms facing down to help support you. Now I'm going to do a gentle one first, okay? So walking your feet out as wide as your mat. Sorry, I had to readjust. Wasn't quite in line with my mat, and I'm trying to find my mat with my toes, and I couldn't find it. I was like, where is it? I found it. So how I usually do it is feel the pinkies of my toes on the outside of my mat. And then allow your your knees to fall in to each other. So into the center. Gently tucking your chin. Then inhale and exhale, dropping both knees over to the left while moving your head towards your right hands. And your hands. And deepen your breath. We'll take one more cycle of breath in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. Inhaling, coming back up through center, head and knees up through center. Exhale, legs over towards the right, head towards the left. We'll take a couple of cycles of breath. Noticing if this side feels a little different. You might also like to close your eyes here as we begin to wind down. Take one cycle of breath where you are. And on your next inhale, bring your knees and your head back up through center. And we'll do one more either side. So on your exhale, dropping those knees down and head over the opposite way. If you feel any tension anywhere, use your breath to open up. Our breath is so important in these practices. It does help to create space in those places that may be feeling tight or tense. And take one more cycle of breath. In through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Inhaling back up through center and exhale over towards the other side. And again, it feels nice to close your eyes. And find with your mind's eye where you're feeling tense. Send your breath down into that space. Relax into the posture. Beautiful. Take one more round of breath. And then on your next inhale, coming back up through center. Then we're going to bring our hands onto the tops of our knees. So bringing your knees up to meet your hands. And allow your legs to just imagine them falling away from you. So your legs becoming heavy. Okay? We're going to be using our arms to guide our hips into a little hip rotation. So we're going to inhale to bring your knees towards your chest. I'm going to open up the hips to either side and doing big circles and allow your hips to fall away from you as you bring them back in, about hip width apart. And inhaling to draw your knees in towards you. And as we exhale, rounding, creating big, big circles with your hips and your arms. And following your breath, you can go as fast or as slow as you like. And doing one more this way. And then we're going to swap directions. Woo, look out. It's a party in the hips. And then when your knees are back in towards your chest, come up, bring your forehead up towards your knees for a full body squeeze. And then relax. And really come down with a ha. I promise it feels good. You might feel silly at the beginning, but I tell you what, it feels good. Feels good to let go. And now when we're ready, we're going to lengthen one leg out and then the other. Palms facing up, out by your side. Feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart, and allow your feet to splay out wide. And close your eyes down. And take 3 of the deepest breaths that you've taken all day. In through the nose and let out with a hum. Allow your body to get heavy on the ground. Feels good when you let go. And you, my darling, can stay here as long as you need to. There's nowhere that you need to be than right here, right now. Let go, surrender to the ground, and give yourself permission to rest. Resting is equally as important as the work that you do. Rest can be hard. And you, my darling, can do hard things. Thank you for being here and practicing with me on the mat. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, day 6. Namaste.